Okay, Neat. Uh, so good morning, everyone. Online students, can you hear my voice? Say yes or no to me once. Right. So yesterday I given a notes on request dispatcher. Let me explain for 5 minutes, and based on that, I am trying to do one application. It takes time. You have to watch it. What I'm going to do. So whenever you are trying to do one application from IDE Eclipse or any IDEs, you have to stop the Tomcat server and you have to start typing your application anyway. Stop the Tomcat server. So look here. Request dispatcher is one interface from Jakarta.servlet package. Means predefined interface which supports servlet communications. Servlet communication means servlet to servlet small communication or servlet to HTML or servlet to JSP. Like this, servlet can perform some communications in your project. These communications categorized into two types. Means servlet can do forward communication or servlet can do include communication. The servlet can do. Sir, what is this forward and include? So yesterday I took one small diagram here. Like this. This is also not bad. Request dispatcher given a name like this. In forward communication, servlet program 1 will take the request and forwards the request to servlet program 2. Here servlet program 2 will give the response. That's called forward. Include communication means servlet program 1 will take the request. Servlet program 1 only will give the response, but the response is included with, this is included with the response of servlet program 2, included with the response of servlet program 2. This concept we call it as a include communication concept. Okay, right. Today, I'm trying to demonstrate these two concepts to you through program. Right. So whenever you want to do one program in servlet, generally, the process is first only we should plan what we are going to do. That's the approach. Not only in servlet and in web service or in your Spring also, first only we should plan what we are going to do. Then only we should construct the application. That approach I'm following today. So today, example program demonstrating here forward and include. example application demonstrating servlet communications, servlet communications, one layout, one layout. I'll be drawing, I'll be typing, watch it. Don't do anything anyway. Just watch what I'm doing. Okay, right. So I'll take one application here, click on file, new, dynamic web project I'm taking. Who not followed the application one? Now you're going to watch the application two. Yesterday 10 minutes time is there also. I not started actually because I don't want to write in hurry burry. I left it. So to relax, I'll write it, observe it. Okay, right. Now I'm taking application servlet to. My intention is request dispatcher. Request dispatcher is my target. I'm trying to explain request dispatcher through this program. Click on finish. We are creating dynamic web project. Whenever the dynamic web project is created, you have to add the jar file, servlet API.jar file. Right click on the application, build path, configure build path, libraries, select class path, click on add external jars. Under your Tomcat folder, go to lib. You can find servlet API here. Select this servlet API, click on open, click on apply, click on apply and close. Now the servlet API is added from reference libraries, servlet API added from lib folder. Now the project starts with one input file. I'm going to start with one input.html. You can take any name, no problem. Just always I'll take my habit is to take input.html. I will take. So I am trying to take one input.html. I'm taking. Where is this paint? Input.html. So our application starts with one home page known as input.html. One home page. Input.html, where I'm going to read one value here. I'm going to read one more value here. Two values I'm going to read from here. Two values. So value one, the variable, I'll take it as v1. And value two, I'll take the variable as v2. I'll take two choices here. One is add, I will take, add the two values or find average of the two values, A, V, G, average. Add that numbers or find average out of two numbers. These are two are submit buttons. So submit button, I am taking S1 here. This submit button, remember, you have to take same name, S1. Because you are going to click any one, no? Yes or no? Na? Whether add you will click it or you will click average. Any one you are going to click it. These are this data should be submitted to one URL pattern. Choice I will take. Any name you can take. In your demo practice in my room. After that, when you go to the company, they'll only give the names to you. What URL pattern to be taken. So I am taking URL pattern as a choice. Okay, right. I'll enter 7 here. I'll enter. I'll enter 2 here. I will enter. So whenever I submit the data will go to one servlet. It's a concept. So let me construct this HTML first. Okay, right. In my project, where you have to construct HTML, sir, under SRC, under main, here you had web app. Do you remember web app? Right. Correctly. Right click on web app, new. Here HTML option is there. Here you can type it as input.html. Click on finish. The HTML format will come. Here you don't take CSS, Angular, you don't take that. Just plain form tag you write. So you take a first form tag only you take. Once the application is running successfully, then you have to take the remaining. Until then, you must not take UI related actions. Okay, right. So here I am taking just one form tag I am taking. Form is equal to form action is equal to choice. Always you take method is equal to what now? Post you take. Always you take post in the form tag. Where get will come, I'll reveal to you. Slowly, we are in the starting stage only. Just I'm typing second application to you. Okay, right. So write post. To handle this request, we must write a do post method in your program. That's the information to you. Sorry, here two values for us. Enter the value, enter the value 1. Enter the value 1. Input type is equal to text. Name is equal to V1 BR. Enter the value 2 V2. Here input type is equal to submit. Here value is equal to add. Name is equal to S1. Here input type submit. Here we take it as AVG, average, and S1. All of you understood HTML form? Right. It is easy. Don't do any CSS, that all you don't do it. I said no, repeatedly I'm saying it because first you have to make your application run first. After that, colors will come. Until then, don't keep it. So our input.html is ready. Once the input.html is ready, I will click any one here, whether add or average, I'll click it. Whenever I click on average, you know the first diagram already. All the data are encapsulated to one protocol. The protocol will carry the data and come to the server and give the specifications to controllers to run one servlet program. The servlet program will be loaded. When the servlet program loaded, servlet config object will come. Then servlet object will come. There three lifecycle methods will come. In the process of executing do post or do get or service, one request and response object will come. In that request object, data is submitted. That is the work we done on the first diagram. So same diagram daily we cannot draw no. Okay, right. Directly I'm drawing one servlet. One servlet. Whenever the servlet object came, directly I'm drawing servlet. So in this servlet object, before that config will come. servlet servlet config. One object will come first. The servlet config object 0x2. Why 0x2 means when the application is deployed, already servlet context object will be there. Servlet context object first only will be there. Yes or no now? Right. First servlet context object, then only servlet config object, and here do post method will come anyway. So for this one object will come 0x3. This object is for I am taking choice servlet. I am taking one name as what now? Choice servlet object identified with the URL pattern choice. So it identifies one servlet program. So what kind of request is coming from here to here? Means post request is coming. What request is coming now? Post request is coming. The information through this diagram, input.html submitted one post request. The post request is taken by choice servlet. Before choice servlet object config object will come. Okay, right. Then here one do post method will come. Here one do post method will come. I am going to write one do post method here. I am highlighting do post only. Do post method will come. REQ and RES. Now while executing do post method, here one request object will come. Sir 0x4. One request object. HTTP servlet request object. One response object will come. One response object. HTTP servlet response object will come. That is 0x5. These two object references passed as parameter here. So request object 0x4, response object 0x5. You know, once the request object created, whatever the data you submitted from HTML form, the data will come here. V1 is equal to 7, V2 is equal to 2. Here, S1 is equal to add will come or average will come. I kept R no, right? All of you understood this, yes or no to me, right? So the data are available in the request. That only I given a time to you. Okay, right? Now let me write the program up to here. Choice servlet up right, write it. Then I'll build the logic and come. Okay, right? This is our visual. So now we are constructing choice servlet. We are constructing one choice servlet. We are constructing. Right. Whenever you want to construct one servlet program, nothing but Java program, under Java resources, SRC, right click on SRC, new, take one package as test. Under that package test, I am creating one class. The class name is choice servlet, choice servlet. Right. What is the process of constructing this program? First you import java.io. Then import Jakarta dot servlet. Import Jakarta dot servlet dot http import Jakarta dot servlet dot annotation at the rate of web servlet double quotes slash choice. Same spelling you have to take. That HTML action is equal to one URL pattern. And here this URL pattern, both must be same names. Then here extends from HTTP servlet. Sir, I'm not writing INIT because I'm not doing initialization. I'm not doing destroy. I'm taking only service or do post or do get. But your request is post request. To accept post request, we must take what method now? Do post method. So protected void do post HTTP servlet request REQ HTTP servlet response RES throws SERVLET servlet exception and IO exception. This method format already there for us from HTTP servlet. This method is override method only. So the method already available in the HTTP servlets, the format I taken to write the body. Now, here, what is the logic you are going to do, sir? I'll remove that yellow mark there. Suppress. Suppress meaning is close. Close warning. The warning name is serial. That's the meaning. That yellow mark will go. That's not mandatory, but I'm writing there. Okay. What this servlet has to do? This servlet has to take this S1 inside. Servlet has to take this S1 inside. Whatever the S1 value is there, you have to take inside. All of understood this point that S1, because from S1 only I can understand the user selected ADA, the user selected average, I will understand if I read S1. How to read the data from request now? Get parameter method is there. So here string S1 is equal to REQ dot get parameter of S1. Whatever the data available in the S1, I am loading onto here. Submit. Once the data is available on S1, check it. What is that S1? S1 dot. Do you know equals method from your string chapter? Equals of double quotes add. Whether S1 is holding add or it is holding average. If else is there no for us? If it is true, add is there. If it is false, average is there. Anyone. So if it is add, forward the control to next servlet program. Forward the control to next servlet program. The servlet program is identified with URL pattern. URL pattern. Some AD I will take roughly one value AD. So I'll forward. If S1 is add, I'll forward the control to one more servlet program. I'm going to use a method known as forward. Forward REQ RES. I'm going to forward. I'm going to forward the control. Now see, whenever I want to use a forward method, I must create object for request dispatcher. No, yes or no, na. Right. See how I'm writing request dispatcher. If S1 is holding add now, if S1 is holding add now, request dispatcher RD is equal to req dot get request dispatcher. Instead, I kept a here. While you're creating object, you must pass URL pattern or HTML or JSP. Now you are communicating with one servlet now. Then you have to pass what now? URL pattern you have to pass. So what is the URL pattern I decided here now? AD. Yes or no? Na? This URL pattern I decided as a developer. AD I decided. So I will pass AD. Now with this URL pattern AD, what kind of communication? RD dot to forward request and response. I am forwarding the control. All of you understood this? Says or no to me? Louder I want. Right. Now see. Whenever I pass request and response here, sir, request response means you are passing the address locations. I am passing the addresses 0x4, 0x5. I am passing. They are all non-primitive data type variables. No, right. I am passing addresses as parameter. Now, forward method want to forward the control to one URL pattern AD. Now, internally your protocol will take AD. Means I must identify one more servlet. It gives the information. Bring the servlet running on URL pattern AD. Now your controls will identify that servlet and load it. When the servlet is loaded, config object will come. Every servlet will have its own servlet config object. Every servlet will have its own config. That's a rule. Okay, here 0C2. Roughly, this is a separate object 0C2. After that, servlet object will come 0C3. This is one object. Object is addition SERVLET object. So I am taking one servlet program with the name what now? Addition servlet. All of understood this? Say yes or no to me once. Louder I want. Because forward is a key role in your projects. Okay, right. Now here also one do post method will be there. Because same request I am forwarding. Same request only I am forwarding. Means post request only I am giving. I am forwarding the same request. Okay, right. Now do post method. This do post method. Here also do post method REQ and RES. This do post method request. Same addresses are taken. 0x4, same address taken. 0x5. All of you understand, sir? These two objects only taken there. Addresses are taken. So what happened now, sir? What are the two objects created here? What are the two objects created for servlet 1? These two objects are reused. These two objects are reused. And one more point you should identify here. First context object will come. Context object only one will come. Total application will have how many context objects means only one. After that, control will go to XML. Through XML, input.html will come. That's a flow. Through input.html, I submitted the data to choice servlet. Now the choice servlet took this S1 inside. After taking S1, it is add now. If it is add, I'll forward the control to next servlet. Whenever I forward the control, remember, Whenever I forward the control, here print writer object not created. All of you observe this now. Louder I want. If you are silent, tension will come. Because if you don't follow this, next application not possible. If you don't follow this week and next week, you better don't come. You will not understand. That is called link. If you don't understand servlet, you cannot do perfect project in your web services. Not possible. Links are there. If you don't understand this one, how you will understand web service? It's a n number of requests will come to one program, no? So you have to keenly observe it, what I'm doing. Flow. Now, here print writer object not created. Why, sir? Because servlet is not giving response. Choice servlet is not giving response. It is forwarding the control to next servlet. Whatever the request I taken, I am forwarding. Whenever I forward it to edition servlet, in this choice servlet config object destroys. Because this related servlet not needed, because I forwarded no over. Whenever this auto destruction happens here, so servlet config of your choice servlet destroys. Servlet object destroys because work over, because do post method over, no? When the do post method over, life cycle methods will be ended. Destroy method is empty method only. Now this do post method, this servlet, choice servlet object destroyed, servlet config object destroyed. These two objects are not destroyed. Request, response not destroyed because they are forwarded. You are linked here or not now? So these two objects are used by the addition servlet now. All of you got this point? Remaining objects other than these two destroyed automatically. You should visual. Now what the do post method is doing now, while do post method execution, servlet request and servlet response object must be created. But already I only given the object references. Already I'm giving a objects to you. Don't create the objects. If object not there, you can create it. But I only given the object reference to you. Whenever I given a object reference, use that objects. Don't create new objects. Now do post starts. What do post will do? Now this do post method can use this object. So what happened now? Sir, it will take the data from here. V1 it will take because it can take the data from this object. V1 it will take. V2 it will take. V1, V2 will be taken. V1, V2 will be taken. So here V1 is equal to 7. V1 is equal to 7. V2 is equal to 2. V2 is equal to 2. The V1, V2 taken by the addition servlet will take it. All of you understood this statement, right? So let me write addition servlet once. Now, addition servlet. I'm constructing addition servlet, then I'll come to the remaining. Okay, right. Now I'm concentrating on addition servlet. Addition servlet dot Java. Addition servlet dot Java. Close it. Now I'm writing second servlet. Right click on test. New. One class. Addition. Addition. SERVLET. Addition servlet. Same process. Import java.io. Import Jakarta dot servlet. Import Jakarta dot servlet. HTTP. Import Jakarta dot servlet dot annotation at the rate of web servlet. Here double quotes /AD. So identified with URL pattern AD. Extends from HTTP servlet. Same request forwarded here. So it is a do post only. Protected. Protected void do post of HTTP servlet request REQ HTTP servlet response RES throws SERVLET servlet exception IO exception here. Now this is override. Suppress, remove this warning. Now look here. What addition servlet has to do? Take V1 inside. From where you are taking? You are taking from the request. That request from your first servlet to second servlet, we are reusing that object. So the data will be in the form of string. You have to convert into integer. How will you convert now? Integer dot parse int req dot get parameter of v1. Sir, that v1 came inside. Int v2 is equal to integer dot parse int req dot get parameter of v2. Sir, v1, v2 came inside, add it. Int v3 is equal to v1 plus v2. So v1 plus v2, we are adding. Sir, we are adding here. Int v3 is equal to v1 plus v2. Now you have to send this output outside. Because I must send a v3 or not now. Whenever you want to send v3 outside, you must create print writer. All of you got this one? Now you have to create print writer. When you are creating print writer means when servlet want to give the response, then print writer. If servlet don't want to send the response, print writer is not needed. Print writer is optional. Okay, right. Now I am writing print writer here. So here print writer PW is equal to RES dot get writer. You know the diagram already. Sir, RES came from the first servlet now, right? So how will you draw the diagram now? Sir, here one print writer object is created. One print writer object created. Print writer is a class. One print writer object created. 0, C, some 4 or something. Because only that object. Request response reused or not now. Right. This print writer is connected to this response. This address only binded here. Because that request only you are using now. Sorry. That response only you are using now. Right. Sir, this 0x5 only I am using here. Using this 0x5 I am creating print writer. This address binded here. There is a link. So what happened now? Sir, print here. Set content type res dot set content type text or HTML, because you have to say what kind of data you are sending. You have to say. Then I'll write here. Here tw dot println. I'll say addition is equal to v3. I'll take 1 br, right? So whenever I send the output here, sir, whenever I send the output, sir, from here to here, I'm sending some response. I'm sending. This response will come to here. From this, the response will come out. This is output. Because through that response only coming now. All of you understood this? Yes or no to me once? Coming here. This response only we are using. Okay, right. The output should come. What output will come here, sir? Addition is equal to here. Addition. Addition is equal to 7 plus 2, 9 will come. The answer will come. Sir, not only answer here. Whenever the addition is equal to 9 is coming here, when the addition is equal to 9 coming, below this, again I want input.html I want. With this addition is equal to 9, I want input.html once again. All of you got this point now, right? All of you understood my intention? So with this output, I want input.html again. Means what? With this response, I must include input.html. With this response, I should include input.html. Whenever you want to do include operation, again request to dispatcher. So addition class. Inside this addition class, I am using request dispatcher rd is equal to req dot get request dispatcher. Now you are trying to communicate with whom? Addition servlet. You are trying to communicate with whom? With input dot html I want to communicate. What type of communication we want? RD dot what now? Include request and response. The meaning is already the response is coming addition. With this response, input.html will come out. In your real time also, whenever you enter your usernames and passwords wrongly in banking domain, it says first choice means first choice completed. You are reminded with three choices. Again, that form will be repeated or not now. That is include communication only, the real time. So now this addition included with input.html. So according to our output now, sir, this input.html will be repeated. With this, it should be repeated. So this is the output we are expecting now. Sir, I want this output. Can I run the program now? Right. This is output. From addition. If addition servlet running, I'll go for average servlet. If addition servlet running, I'll go for average servlet. Whether addition servlet is running or not, let me cross check. So addition, this is output I'm expecting now. Okay, right. Now see. Whenever I want to run this program, I must construct web.xml to start it. Web.xml to start it. To start with input.html. Where I must write web.xml? Under webinf. So correctly right click on webinf, new, here other XML file. Always the name is web.xml. Click on finish. Now here, only one tag I given to you, that is web app I given. Here I given welcome file list. Welcome file list I given. Here I have welcome file is there. Welcome file. What is the welcome file here now? Input.html. So this is web.xml. Let me run this program. Up to there, the output is coming or not. So close all windows. Somebody is opening the window and running here. Close all windows. Then right click on this application. Run as, run on server. Click on finish. Now here, enter some 7. Enter some 2 here. Click on add. Addition 9. Enter the value 1, value 2. Answer is coming or not now? It is including. Now let us go with average. Average means same concept, no? It's opposite. See there. Right. Stop the Tomcat. Sir, up to here, the output is coming for me. Up to here. Suppose, sir, S1 is not add. It is average. Sir, whenever it is average, the control should come to another one. If it is average, again, the control is coming to another one. Forward, forward, request and response. Because of this reason in core Java, especially, at least a few programs will ask you to look like references. Whenever we pass primitive data type variable as parameter, value will go. Whenever we pass non-primitive data types as parameter, references will go. So here, request response means references are passed. That the student has to catch this point. We are passing references. 0x4 and 0x5. So now I am forwarding the control to one servlet. Forwarding the control to one servlet. Running on URL pattern AV roughly. Here also one config object will come. SCRVLET servlet config. Some 0y2 I'll take. Roughly some other names I'm trying to take. So here 0y3. So here average servlet. Average servlet object will come. We are reusing no do post method. Do post request and response. Sir, we are passing that parameters. This request and response will be taken. 0x4 and 0x5. Same. That V1, V2 is reused, no? Yes or no? Na? Yes or no? Same concept only, no? Right. We are going to reuse that. V1, V2. We are going to reuse it. These two objects are reused here. This V1 will be used here. This V2 will be used here. Separate print writer object, link it to response, output will come. Here the output is what now? Sir, average is equal to an input.html. All of you got it? Can I write the program now? See there. So I am taking average servlet. I am taking addition servlet. Save as. I am changing the name to average, AVERAGE, average servlet. Right. Here URL pattern is AV. Now V1, V2. Here average means what? Sir, divided by 2. That is average, no? Right. Convert into what value now? Float. And V3 must be what now? Float. Sir, float value will come. Here float value will come. So here average is equal to average value. So this is average servlet where we are finding average of two values roughly. Here program not important, concept forwarding concept only important. So this program will not be there for easiness because I cannot connect the database now only, no, right? So I just am demonstrating forward control. In forward control, we are reusing the request and response. That point you have to catch it. So go to choice servlet. Go to choice servlet. In choice servlet, if it is false, the control will come to else. Here you have to request dispatcher RD is equal to REQ dot get request dispatcher. We are forwarding the control to AV. If it is add, I'll forward the control to AD. Else, I'll forward the control to AV. Sorry, you are taking same variable error not coming means your block scope will be there, no? Variables inside the if is local. Variables inside the else is local. They are local scoped. Now RD dot to forward request and response. Now let me run this program, whether it's working or not. Right. So finally here, average servlet I'm taking dot Java. So total 3 servlets, choice servlet, addition servlet, average servlet. Here, choice servlet is not giving response. Because of this reason, we not used print writer. But addition servlet and average servlets are giving the response. So we use the print writer. Now, let me run this program once again, whether average servlet is running or not. Run as, run on server. Click on finish. Same. Take 1.7, take 1.2, average. Average is equal to 4.5. Sir, I want sum. You can take sum. Addition is equal to 9. Running, no? Right. Here, one servlet forwarding the request to another servlet. In that process, we are using a method known as RD.forward. The forward method is taking two parameters: request object reference, response object reference. These two objects are reused by the second servlet in your forward communication. That's the point you have to grasp. Now, what is the other point you observed in this diagram now, sir? Total web application will have only one servlet context object, but every servlet program will have its own config. Because I drawn that also I drawn the reason there is separate config is there. Every servlet will have its own config. Every servlet will have its own config. Every servlet will have its own config. Total web application will have only one context. Okay. So this is the program and layout. Hope you understood, I think. Louder I want. Make it note. Now you will say yes only. When the project running, this much of strength also will not be there. because headache will come. Slowly hand will come out. They'll be doing like this on the class. So the course will be out of your hands. Be careful. At any cost, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Oracle, you keep away temporarily. Daily spend 2-3 hours on my servlet once for 2 weeks at least. After that, throw that servlet and go to Spring. Because once you gain the knowledge, you have to walk forward. That's all. Knowledge only no. So some knowledge is there. I have to catch it. Until then, you have to work it. After that, you never work servlet. That flavor will be there in for you. With that flavor, you can travel forward and go. But this 2 weeks, uh, schedule your time according to your busy schedule and spend some time on servlet for 2 weeks, not more than that. Okay, right. Note what you observed here now, sir. Total web application will have only one servlet context object. Total web application will have only one servlet context object. But every servlet program, will have its own servlet config object. Total web application will have only one servlet context object, but every servlet program will have its own servlet config object. Using context, using config, what we are going to do. I only will give the information, so you have to wait. Today, the information is only one context, but every servlet will have its own servlet config. Right. Now, one more point you observed here. In forward communication, the request and response objects are reused by second servlet program. That is especially in forward only. In forward only it happens. Why means developer should know, no? I dumped the data to request object of servlet 1. In forward, the same data will come. The developer should have an idea. So same data, I can use it. The answer is coming, no? Have you observed this point or not now? So I am printing V1, V2 from servlet 2, but I dumped the data to servlet 1. But servlet 2 is taking the data. That is a proof to say that the object is reused. Object means memory. I started the course JDBC from there. There are 4 storages to you: field storage, object storage, file storage, database storage. Now, object is a storage. When the data is available in the object storage, request object storage of servlet 1 is reused by servlet 2 in forward communication only. Make a statement. In forward communication process, request and response objects of servlet program 1 will be reused by servlet program 2. In forward communication process, request and response objects of servlet program 1 will be reused by servlet program 2. In forward communication only it happens. Okay, all of you understood this? Right, okay. Now take assignment you take now. Okay. So same program you update and come. I took add average I took. You take subtract, multiplication, division, modulo division, greater, smaller. These many operations you have to do on two variables. So backside n number of servlets will come, n number of URL patterns will come. Make it update above application with the following operations. Update above application with the following operations. Update above application with the following operations. So the operations here, I done add, no? You do subtract, you do multiplication, you do division, you do modulo division, greater. Here greater means enter two values, click on greater. Greater value must be shown back and smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Already two servlets are there. 7, 8 plus choice servlet 9. 9 servlets will be there. 9 different URL patterns must write. Okay, right. Now look here. Once the program is executing successfully, after adding these all operations, if the program is running successfully, then you design that input.html screen with CSS. You know CSS, no? Right. If you know script, you do script. I don't know script means add CSS. CSS means what now? Some alignment and color will come or not now? CSS will train you about alignment and color. HTML means only tags will be there. So only tags. CSS will train you about alignment and color, I think. JavaScript make your page as interactive. If you know it, do that CSS, HTML now. After making your program run normally, then you add that alignment, good color, good alignment, whatever you want, you do it. Right. All of you understood today's class? Right. Okay. Now, next target is, sir, anyway, this diagram I'll post to you. This diagram I'll post to you. Sir, anyway, last application and this application, servlet is giving the output. So from here, we are passing some request anyway. User means we are the users. Whenever I given a request, sir, servlet is taking the request. First program, servlet took the request, servlet given the response. Today is the second program. One servlet took the request, forward the request to second servlet. Now the second servlet is giving the response. But servlet must not give the response according to real time. Who has to give the response now? JSP has to give the response. So next program, JSP should enter. Now who has to give the response now? JSP has to give the response. JSP. So because of this reason, we write some notes related to JSP, right? Make a heading, JSP programming. Why we are taking JSP means now servlet has to take the support of JSP to give the response. because already servlet already giving the response already. Make it star mark IMP JSP programming. Why we are taking JSP means servlet has to give the response in the form of JSP. JSP stands for Java Server Page, and which is response from web application. JSP stands for Java Server Page, and which is response from web application. Which is response from web application. Right. Look here. You are attending 3 classes, few people, HTML, Oracle, Core Java. Maybe fourth one is Advanced Java. Generally, this only will be there. Advanced Java is nothing but Core Java extension, LKG, UKG. So majorly 3 courses in your hand. Among these three languages, one is HTML language, SQL language, Java language. Means you are attending 3 languages. HTML, SQL, Java. 3 languages you are learning. But 3 trainers are coming. Same trainer is not coming to 2 languages. You observe that. Because every language, expert trainers are available. They will come. Because their specializations are there. They'll come. Understood this point? Right. Among these 3 languages, which one is easy? HTML. None. We never hurt it if we say also. Which one is easy now? HTML. Why means copy paste only? No. Whatever you want, one Google search engine is there. Their predefined tag is there. You'll copy, you'll run it. And that only no, right? Moreover, you are not writing. Somebody written you are using. So HTML is dead easy, sir. The reason it is a tag-based programming language. Same. JSP also dead easy. The reason it is a tag-based programming language. It is not Java. Understood? This is not Java. This is separate language known as a tag-based programming language. Make it. JSP is tag-based programming language. Tag-based programming language, and which is more simple when compared to servlet programming. If you compare with servlet programming, JSP will look very, very, very simple because it is a tag-based coding. JSP is a tag-based programming language, and which is more simple when compared to servlet programming. Right. Whenever you want to save the program in Java, .java. Whenever you want to save the program in JSP, .jsp, not .java. You have to save with extension as .jsp. Make it. In JSP, the programs are saved with the extension as .jsp. saved with the extension as a .jsp. In JSP, the programs are saved with the extension as a .jsp. Not .java, it is .jsp. Now look here. If you see this diagram, sir, JSP means response, no? Right. JSP, one specialty is there. This JSP. The specialty is inside the JSP, you can write HTML code, you can write. HTML tags are there, no? You can write HTML tags. When you're writing HTML tag, it supports CSS. When HTML tag CSS is there, script it supports. So you can write HTML tag here. Sir, I am Java programmer. No, sir, means you can write Java code also, you can write. JSP programs are combination of both Java code and HTML code. The specialty. If you write HTML, only HTML will be there. If you write Java, only Java will be there. Sir, I want both together. Because I know Java, I know HTML, no, sir. I want both together. Then the other given JSP. JSP programs are combination with HTML code and Java code. Make a statement. In JSP programs, we can write in JSP programs, we can write both HTML code and Java code. In JSP programs, we can write both HTML code and Java code. It is a combination of both codes. My intention is that. Sir, I know HTML codes, I know. HTML tags your trainer given to you. CSS tags your trainer given to you. I know them. You can write directly in JSP, answer will come. Then how to write Java code, sir? Java code is not tag based. So how can I write? To write that Java codes, separate tags are available. Make a statement. We use the following JSP tags. We use the following JSP tags to write Java code in JSP programs. We use the following JSP tags to write Java code in JSP programs. 1. Scripting tags. Scripting tags. Directive tags. Action tags. Scripting tags, directive tags, action tags. Only 3 types of tags available in the JSP. Scripting tags, directive tags, and action tags. So tomorrow I'll make a notes on what is scripting, what is directive, what is action. I'll bring that JSP into your program. So draw this diagram like this and keep it. The small diagram, JSP out is there no here, this one. Our target is JSP. Draw this small diagram down because what you are going to do, why you are bringing JSP here means servlet has to give the JSP as a response because you are bringing JSP. Today you have to practice that program and complete it and come. Tomorrow JDBC is coming. JSP is coming, pins are coming, and application level is going to be increased. Right. So practice request dispatcher and come today. Okay, right. Take a break. Who completed? Thank you very much for today.
ये डायग्राम है ना सर, एक बार रिपीट कर सकते हैं सर? ये जो आप स्टार्टिंग में बताए थे ना सर्वलेट का इंस्टॉल करने के लिए, ये क्या हर बार रिपीट करना है क्या? ये बार बार करना है क्या स्टेप? रिपीट करना है बार बार?
Only adding server
तो जब भी कोई नया प्रोग्राम बनाएंगे तो ये प्रोसेस करना है? ये थोड़ा लंबा प्रोसेस है ना?
project है ना, separate project.
तो सर इसमें जब प्रोजेक्ट बनाते हैं तो ये सब अपने आप ऑटोमेटिक ड्राइवर नहीं आता, ये सारा लिखना पड़ता है, इंपोर्ट करना पड़ता है सब कुछ।
हाँ,
ऑटोमेटिक ड्राइवर के साथ JDBC में जब आते हैं वो नहीं आते।
separate.
सर इसमें जावा में क्या क्या बना सकते हैं? वेबसाइट बना सकते हैं, वेबसाइट बना सकते हैं।
What create your website?
हाँ नहीं सर पूछ रहे हैं कि जावा को यूज करके क्या क्या बना सकते हैं,
Or web applications and enterprise applications.
और मोबाइल गेम वगैरह बना सकते हैं?
हाँ, thread APIs रहता है मोबाइल गेम्स में, thread APIs.
बना सकते हैं सर? तो सर उसका हमको मिल सकता है क्या कोडिंग?
Gaming direct नहीं बना सकता. So इसमें thread APIs रहता है. You can create thread APIs.
वो क्या नेट पे मिलता है? मिल
हाँ.
सकता है, मिल सकता है।
What do you want? No, any other way. Search it and come. हमारा पास नेट है ना, take any one. Yes, you can.
యాక్షన్ చూపెట్టింది దాంట్లో వెంటనే చూపెడితే వాళ్ళు డిలీట్ చేసి అవి ప్రాజెక్ట్ దర్శనం ఏముంటే చూసుకోండి ఇలా క్లాస్ లేదు
Class లేదా? Class. మహేష్ గారు లేరా ఇప్పుడు?
క్లాస్ 2 मिनट बैठो 2 मिनट
అని వాళ్ళు చేయలేదు. హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ వర్క్ చేస్తుంది.
HTML క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత HTML లో ఆఫ్టర్ రావట్లేదు. ఫామ్ టైప్ టైప్ చేస్తున్నాను అసలు రావట్లేదు సార్. నిన్న నేను రావట్లేదు మెట్ర దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళాను.
అంటే చూపించారు
క్రియేట్ కావట్లేదు సార్. వస్తుంది
ఇంకో ప్రోడక్ట్ తీసుకో, వేరే ప్రోడక్ట్ తీసుకో. సపరేట్ తీసుకో.
HTML పేజ్ క్రియేట్ కావట్లేదు సార్. ఫస్ట్ టైం అయితే అయింది, తర్వాత వాళ్ళు చేశారు, కంప్లీట్ చేశారు. ఫామ్ టైప్ చేస్తుంటే రావట్లేదు, కొద్దిగా ఆగిపోయి తెలియదు, లోడ్ అవుతుంది. సార్ మాకు స్టార్టింగ్ లో జేడీకి 70 రన్ ఇచ్చారు కదా, ఇచ్చి తొక్కే డౌన్ చేయాలా, జేడీకి కూడా తీసేయాలి.
ఏమని జరిగింది
70 వస్తుంది జేడీకి 70.
2023 అంటే 2024 మార్చ్ ఉంటుంది. సపరేట్ ఐకాన్ వస్తుంది. 17 ఉందా ఆల్రెడీ?
అవును సార్.
2024